Greetings and welcome. This is Rajiv Makhni on the Gadget 360 show, and boy, do I have an absolutely amazing show for you. Some of what we've done already last week, we continue, and some awesome new stuff. For instance, awesome new stuff. Our top story today is the Apple TV 4K. Compact 4K quality fits in the Apple ecosystem. They really want to get you now into the Apple ecosystem in every which way possible. But is there a big difference between this one and the previous version? Doesn't seem like on paper or otherwise, but we'll tell you if that's true or not. Then our next review is the Noise Intellibuds TWS, India's first AI buds, voice commands, gesture control. But what does it all mean? Well, we'll tell you in our story. Then we'll move on to our Dyson laboratory in a backpack. This is part 2. A lot of you have been asking about whether they can buy this backpack. How do they get to it? It's amazing. It's fantastic. How can you buy it? Well, I'm going to tell you a lot more about it. The only thing is you can't buy it. But the rest of the story is amazing. Let's move on now to our top story. This is the brand new Apple TV 4K. Now, I use the word brand new, but to a lot of people, this is very familiar. Little smaller, the processor is the A15 Bionic chip. Smaller, no fan inside. Up to 128 GB storage now, connects with your iPhones, AirPods. The HDMI cable is not in the box now. You have to buy it separately. And the best part of this is that the price is lower. But is it? Because the Ethernet port has been taken away. So the big question we're answering, we'll tell you all the good stuff about this. We'll compare it to the previous one. The most important question that we'll answer is, if you own the previous generation, should you buy the new one?
The newly launched Apple TV 4K is an entertainment-filled and power-packed box for anyone looking to buy a new streaming device. It is undoubtedly a great product, but can be marked as a notable upgrade. Let's find out. Physically speaking, the hardware is smaller than its predecessor, about 20% thinner to be precise. It is evidently lighter and can easily fit into any corner of your room or table. Unlike the previous generation, which only had a 64 GB model, the latest Apple TV offers a second version, the 128 GB model. In addition to the difference in capacity, this new model offers an Ethernet port for those wanting direct and faster internet. Similar to the second generation TV, the hardware includes a Siri remote. The make and model of the remote are exactly the same as before, with one significant difference in the charging port, which is now a Type-C port. It is a great step forward, but at the same time disappointing because Apple doesn't give you a USB-C charger for the remote. As usual, you can use the mic button on the side to instruct Siri with any needed commands. It would have been nice to see a few more additions to this remote, but we'll have to keep an eye out for those in the upcoming generation. Exciting news for the gamers, the processor has been bumped up to the A15 Bionic chip, tremendously improving the response time. So no unwanted lag or jitters during games, just faster performance and fluid gameplay. Moving to the software, the UI has a few noteworthy changes. The app quality has gone from HDR10 to HDR10+, which translates to improvement in the color science. As a result, the video playback is highly cinematic. Similar to its predecessor, the new Apple TV 4K has tvOS that provides a grid of apps to choose from. Talking about the apps, customers get a free 3-month subscription to Apple TV Plus and iMusic upon an Apple TV purchase, which is a major plus point. The Gen 3 Apple TV 4K also finally brings a smooth integration of third-party apps to its OS, a much-needed update. The increased connectivity with other Apple devices like the iPhone or iPad makes the experience more efficient and comfortable. You can now truly feel like a part of the ecosystem. While it is obvious that the new Apple TV 4K is an amazing product, it is also clear that there are few improvements and no major leap in terms of updates or changes, specifically in comparison to the previous generation. So Apple users who already have the Gen 2 TV at home do not need this upgrade. But for those looking to add a TV to their Apple ecosystem, this is a good option, especially with a significant lower cost. Apple TV Gen 3 comes in two different prices depending on the model. The 64 GB base model costs 14,990 rupees, while the higher-end 128 GB version costs 16,990 rupees, both considerably cheaper than the Gen 2.
Our next review today is the Noise Intellibuds TWS. These are India's first intelligent buds. What does that even mean? Compatible with Apple and Android, that itself is so intelligent, right? I hope every company gets intelligent like that. Hands-free calling, gesture control, transparency mode, and it's pretty affordable, and the sound is excellent.
The all-new Intellibuds from Noise are India's very first AI earbuds. These futuristic TWS buds let you personalize your music listening and phone answering experiences with the simple use of gestures. The Intellibuds are undoubtedly unique, but are its intelligent features actually beneficial or just superficial? Let's review and find out. On the outside, the Intellibuds look like regular TWS buds, small and light, with two color options, white or black. They come in a slightly bulky case that doubles up as an additional charger. The buds alone with 30 minutes of charge time can run up to 9 hours, but with the case, they have 36 hours of playtime, 4 times the battery life. The Intellibuds are also water resistant, which means there is no limit to where you can take them. Getting to the core of this product, the Intellibuds offer hands-free activation through voice commands and gesture control. The buds have been meticulously designed to distinguish intentional from unintentional gestures. It recognizes and accurately responds to your movements. So when you get a call and are unable to grab your phone, a simple nod can answer the call for you. In the same way, if you are busy, an easy head shake will reject the call. Also, if you are listening to music and need to increase or decrease the volume, you just have to gradually tilt your head up or down, respectively. There are many other gestures that you can customize to fit your needs. Like you can set a single tap to your right ear as a gesture to turn on transparency mode, or a double tap on your left ear to change the song. The control is now yours. All you have to do is download the Noise Fit app and calibrate all the commands. You can manually set or adjust various settings on the app, including the audio settings. Through the equalizer, you can tweak the sound to match your taste. The good news is that it can connect to both Android and Apple devices, though there are some limitations with iOS compatibility. For example, on Android, the buds have a camera shutter feature, wherein you can take a photo of yourself with your phone's back camera by triple tapping your earbuds. This is useful because most phones have a better back camera than front, and it is usually hard to locate the click button and you end up wasting time. Sadly, this time-saving feature is not compatible with Apple devices. But Intellibuds do have full access to Siri and Google Assistant, which is a plus. All in all, the gesture control is very useful, especially for safety reasons like while driving, and it is very fast in its response rate. These one-of-a-kind Intellibuds can be purchased for Rs 4,999, which is very cheap for the technology it is offering. It is indeed an intelligent device.
Let's take a quick break right now on the Gadget 360 show. When I come back, lots more happening. So welcome to the Dyson air quality bag, our adventures with this incredible lab in a bag, and this is part 2. You remember what we're doing, right? We did part 1 and it turned out to be absolutely incredible, I think an absolute eye-opener. But right now let's catch up with Pooja, who joined me last week, and find out how she's faring.
Hi Rajiv, thanks so much for sending me this tech. Honestly, I didn't know such cool tech existed, and I'm a little nervous and excited because my kids and me, we are in and out all the time. So what is the level of pollution that we are actually living in? Well, let's find out. In fact, we've been sitting in this area for a while, and these are the findings as of now. Okay, so I'm actually carrying this cool tech around with me, and I've come downstairs where I bring my daughter to play almost every day. And I'm here and I haven't seen the recording yet. I'm hoping it's something decent because this is all open, there's greenery all around. So I'm hoping it's a safe space. So let's find out. Oops, the reading is kind of very poor. So I think masks on for my kids. So a lot of my time is spent in the car, whether driving or being driven. I drop my kids to the bus stop, take them for different classes, and of course my own meetings, my own errands. So I am hoping that the pollution level, the reading here is fair, because the windows are always closed, it's a controlled atmosphere. So fingers crossed, let's find out what the tech shows me. So now the moment of truth, let's find out what the readings are. Okay, so this is the air quality. Honestly, not as good as I thought it would be. I thought it would be totally in the green, considering the car is always closed. We have the AC on. It's fair, but I'm not happy. Okay, so we're in my daughter's room, and I like to believe that both my kids, their rooms, are the most controlled rooms in the house in terms of atmosphere. We have purifiers running 24/7, and we mostly keep the room shut, like the doors closed. Of course, in the morning sometimes I let in fresh air for a bit, but essentially this is where I do hope the readings are good. So of course this backpack tends to surprise me when I least expect it, but let's find out. Okay then, it is good. The readings are good, so all the measures are working so far. So knowing the information that I now know, knowing the level of pollution that me and my family are exposed to in indoor settings and outdoor, I would love to know what can we do to improve this quality of life in terms of the air we breathe. So it's over to you, Rajiv, and the team. I would love to get some answers regarding this.
And now I've come to a construction site. So a construction site, so many of these all over the city, right? It's gone to somewhere like 700, now about 500-600, but severe. We went to about 700 on PM 2.5, which is just insane. I mean, I'm thinking this is what we cross. I mean, we cross construction sites every day. We are going for a walk in the park. We go for runs, which reminds me now it's time to check in with Rajat and see what his life with this bag has been all about.
So I run here every day. This is Panchil Park, and as you can see, it's pretty green. Now you would imagine that the air will be very good. Now luckily for me, Rajiv has sent me this bag from Dyson, and we'll just see how the measurements are for various things like PM 2.5, PM 10, CO2, NO, and things like that. All right, so let's see. All right. Oh my God. And I was expecting it to be very clean in this green area. So yeah, it's been pretty pathetic when we look at the numbers, whatever those findings are. It's pretty sad, even indoors, how things are. So we need to obviously do better at the technology, the precautions that we need to be taking for having higher quality air. Yeah, hi. So we are outside my clinic, and we've done everything that we can for such kind of air, so all the trees that you see here, the greenery that you see. But it's just unfortunate with this, using this app, finding out the quality of air. It is pathetic, it is awful. But technology wise, I mean, it's been very interesting for me. I was pretty much running with the lab, throughout, in live. It's actually giving me, what the quality of air in various spectrums of it, how does it fall on it. So literally an eye-opener.
Okay, I think this has been one of the most fascinating stories I've done in a very, very long time. We're carrying on now. You saw me at a construction site. You saw me coming into the studio right now. But thank you once again, Pooja and Rajat, for everything that you've done. What a fascinating story about everything that we've learned just because of this backpack. Were things that we were not aware of. Now, let me tell you a little bit about the Dyson backpack, because a lot of people are now asking. Since last week, there's been a flood of queries about it. People are saying, I love it. Where can we buy it? When will it release? How much is it for? This is part of Dyson's global project, wherein they take this backpack to different cities across the globe and monitor the air quality of day-to-day air, the quality exposure of individuals in these cities, just like we did, me, Pooja, Rajat. Now, this is the second generation prototype air quality backpack from Dyson. Now, unfortunately, it is not for sale. I know it's very disappointing. I know it's a great product. It's not a commercial product by Dyson. It's only for research purposes. So for all you people watching this right now, you cannot buy it. With the help of this, Dyson is able to make the invisible, the air around you, visible. Be more aware about pollution sources and ways to reduce your exposure. The more you know about what you're really exposed to, the better you know what to do about it. Now, it's portable. The air sensing device, which collects air pollution data on the move, is absolutely and totally not an air purification system. There's no air purifier built into this. Dyson only uses this very sophisticated technology to offer insight into personal exposure to air pollution and how to avoid it. And as I told you last week, there are sensors inside this backpack. 3 of them in total. One measures temperature and humidity. The other 2 detect pollutants including NO2, VOC, PM2.5 and PM10. Now, Dyson's unique algorithm then processes all this data, which is combined with the information gathered from the onboard GPS to create the reports on air pollution exposure wherever you'd go with this backpack. Now, Dyson's engineers then use all this data to monitor air quality indoors, outdoors, and on the move. So they use all this data, and it really helps them to understand what may have caused the pollution, how you could lower your exposure to it in the future. Great time now to have a quick chat with an engineer from Dyson, Scott Lothar. He's Senior Data Scientist, RDD Environmental Care, Professional Lighting. Scott, so good to have you here on the show with me. My first question, of course, Scott, is what's the purpose and objective of creating this tech in a backpack? What did you hope to achieve?
We wanted to encapsulate all of our sensing technologies that we had from our purifiers into some sort of mobile sensing unit that people could carry around and could see in real time what sort of pollutants they're exposed to. And this would hopefully allow them to understand where the pollution sources are, where they're highly exposed, and hopefully be able to mitigate their exposures.
All right, awesome. Now, what's the science and technology within this backpack? How does it actually work?
So there are a number of electronic components that we have within our Dyson air quality backpack. So firstly, we have a GPS module. So this is able to tell us where the user is at any given time, which means when you're using the app, you can see on a map where were you exposed to different pollutants. We then have a variety of sensors that are built into the sensing enclosure. So we have a particulate matter sensor, which measures particles of different sizes, and it sort of collects information on PM2.5 and PM10, which are really important metrics for measuring air quality.
Scott, these backpacks are used all over the world. What have been your most interesting findings?
One of the really powerful things that we've seen with the backpacks already is that just very small events in your day that could only be maybe 10 or 15 minutes can contribute a really large amount to your overall exposure in the course of the day. So just by cutting out a few very small windows of time over the course of your day, you're actually able to reduce your overall exposures quite significantly, which is really positive to the end user, because it means that only small changes can make a really big difference. Sometimes high percentages of exposure is seen actually in the home environment, which is good news in the sense that home is somewhere that you can often control some of the sources of air quality.
Wow, that really is so insightful, right? What do you do with all these findings? How does it help you to improve your products?
Having collected all of this data around air quality, we're really well equipped to understand the problem of air pollution in people's homes and on the go. One of the things we can do with our connected data is we can offer recommendations to users in the app on how better to use their product. So, for example, we can say that our auto mode, we're really confident in its ability to reduce your exposure to air pollution. So we will often recommend our users to use our smart auto mode, which automatically detects pollution events and purifies the air. Having this outdoor data, wearable data, where we understand what people are exposed to, we can understand where the people are exposed, and therefore that can help us sort of develop our products.
Thank you, Scott. This was fantastic. Thank you so much for speaking with us. Now, do remember, this was a 2-part series in this very special Dyson air quality backpack. I'm repeating it again. This backpack is not up for sale. You can't buy this one. But hats off to Dyson for making this awesome technology and innovation available. This is a game changer in terms of what it does. It makes us aware of what we breathe all day, wherever we go. Can't wait to do this again next year. That then was the Gadget 360 show for this week. What a wide array of products we actually looked into. But remember, we're just getting warmed up. We're just getting started. The year end is almost here. We will have our awards also right here. So do tune into the Gadget 360 show every week with me, Rajiv Makhni.